how you can transplant your dragon tree from one place to another or into a pot. Now this dragon tree I have recently just transplanted in the hole right there. Now depending on the size of the tree, if it's a very big tree, it can be very difficult to transplant because of the size and of the weight. Once they grow big, it is a very heavy tree, and you would need a few people to give you a hand to transplant it. Now the tree itself, they do not have a lot of roots, but their root is very big and quite long. So you need to cut some of the root off if you want to remove the tree. So after you plant it down to the ground, you don't want to plant it down too deep. So prefer on a kind of like a level to the sand where it is. So don't plant your tree too deep because you will need to hold it. If your tree is really big, you probably need something to hold it. So get some rope and hold it at a different angles to allow it to stable itself after a year. So after a year, the root system will start to regrow and it will keep itself steady. So if you just recently move the tree to a new spot, you probably want to not put it down too deep and use some rope to hold it in place. And after a year, you can just kind of remove the rope. You want to make sure your new spot have a very well drainage place, because any water if it stays around, it can ruin the tree and it will cause the tree to die. Now this is another tree that I have planted in the pot. I've moved this tree to the pot for a week now, and here it is. It's still nice and green. I have some shade covering the sun because it's very hot in the last few days, and we don't after transplanting, the plant is very weak, so we want to keep it out of the sun for a while before we remove the shade and allow the sun to get to the tree. So down here, this is the root system. You can see this one here, I got it up a little bit, and you can see the root right here. So that's how big the root is, and it's quite long, so I just need to chop some off so that it can fit into the pot. So another one right here, then you got another one here. You can see this is the root system around the trunk of the tree. There it is, another one right there. So now again, ideally you don't want it to go down too deep, probably just around, have soil around here, just around the root system. Don't put soil all the way up here, you can easily kill the tree that way. And so there it is, that's a new tree transplanted into a big pot.